You probably already have a guess who the richest person in the world is right now. But here's the interesting part. The real story isn't the name at number one. It's the gap. The gap between the top three and everyone else, and how insanely fast it keeps changing. Today we're counting down the top 10 richest people in the world in 2026, breaking down how they actually made their money, what they control today, and why these people are a perfect reflection of how the modern economy really works. Even if you think you know this list, stay until the end. Let's start from the bottom of the list, because even the last place here is richer than entire industries. Opening today's top 10 is Steve Ballmer, with an estimated net worth of around $147 billion in 2026. Ballmer is best known as the former CEO of Microsoft, a company that quietly became the backbone of modern computing. He didn't found Microsoft, but he stayed long enough and owned enough shares to benefit massively as the company turned into long-term infrastructure for businesses, governments, and everyday users. After stepping away from Microsoft, he bought the LA Clippers for about $2 billion. Today, that franchise alone is worth several times more. Ballmer's story is simple but powerful. Sometimes the biggest wealth doesn't come from innovation. It comes from owning the right assets for a very long time. Just one step higher on the list, we move into a completely different type of wealth. Here we find Warren Buffett, worth roughly $149 billion. Buffett built his fortune through Berkshire Hathaway, a massive investment holding company that owns everything from insurance businesses and railroads to consumer brands. His entire philosophy is based on patience, long-term thinking, and understanding how money compounds over decades. What's wild is that Buffett didn't ride tech hype or chase trends. He focused on cash flow generating businesses and let time do the work. That's why even today, in a world dominated by technology, he still sits comfortably among the richest people alive. All right, this is where the list starts to look very different. At number 8 is Jensen Huang with an estimated net worth of about $162 billion. Huang is the co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA, the company that quietly became one of the most important businesses in the world. NVIDIA makes the chips that power artificial intelligence, data centers, and advanced computing. For years, GPUs were mostly for gamers. Today, they're essential for training AI models, running cloud infrastructure, and building the future of automation. Huang didn't just catch a trend. He built the picks and shovels for the next technological gold rush. Now let's talk about someone who proves that tech isn't the only way to build massive wealth. At number 7 is Bernard Arnault, with around $195 billion. Arnault runs LVMH, the world's largest luxury goods empire, owning brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, Sephora, and Tiffany. His business is built on something very simple. People will always pay a premium for status, quality, and identity. While tech companies fight for attention, luxury brands quietly extract enormous value from global wealth. Arnault's fortune shows that owning desire can be just as powerful as owning technology. One interesting habit almost all people on this list share is reading. Not social media threads, not motivation quotes, but real books about money, business, psychology, and long-term thinking. That's why we put together a short list of the most important business and money books, many of which were read or recommended by people from this very list. If you want to increase your financial literacy and start seeing how money actually moves in the real world, Check the links in the description and pick up a few of them. It's one of the cheapest investments you can make, and easily one of the highest return ones. At this point, we're no longer talking about companies. We're talking about platforms used by billions. Number 6 is Mark Zuckerberg, worth roughly $226 billion. Zuckerberg co-founded Facebook, which later became Meta, owning Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. These platforms shape how people communicate, consume information, and even think. Meta's business is built on attention. Billions of people use its apps every day, and advertisers pay massive money to access that attention. Whether people love or hate social media, its economic power is undeniable. And that's exactly what keeps Zuckerberg in the top tier of global wealth. From here on, the rankings get tight, and the numbers start jumping fast. At number 5 is Sergey Brin, with an estimated $237 billion. Brin co-founded Google, which turned internet search into one of the most profitable business models ever created. Today, Google is part of Alphabet, owning YouTube, Android, cloud services, and multiple AI projects. Even though Brin stays mostly out of the spotlight now, his early ownership stake means he continues to benefit as Google expands deeper into artificial intelligence and global infrastructure. This is the last stop before the top 3, and from here on, the rankings change almost every year. At number 4 is Jeff Bezos, worth around $245 billion. Bezos built Amazon from an online bookstore into a global logistics and cloud computing empire. While most people think about Amazon as shopping, AWS is one of the most profitable cloud platforms in the world. Bezos also founded Blue Origin, betting on space as a long-term industry. His story shows how owning infrastructure, not just products, creates lasting power. And now we're entering the most interesting part of the list. The top 3 are constantly fighting for position, and small market changes can reshuffle everything. At number 3 is Larry Ellison, with roughly $245 billion. Ellison co-founded Oracle, a company that dominated enterprise software and databases for decades. Oracle quietly became essential to large corporations and governments, and that kind of dependency is incredibly valuable. In recent years, Oracle pushed aggressively into cloud and AI infrastructure, keeping Ellison firmly near the top of the global wealth rankings. Just one step below the top is Larry Page, worth about $257 billion. Page co-founded Google alongside Sergey Brin and still holds a massive stake in Alphabet. Even without daily involvement, his wealth grows as Google continues to dominate search, advertising, and AI. Page is also known for investing in futuristic projects, from self-driving cars to experimental tech, quietly shaping what comes next. And at number 1, far ahead of everyone else, is Elon Musk, with an estimated $726 billion in 2026. Musk started with PayPal, then reinvested his capital into Tesla, SpaceX, XAI, and the acquisition of X. SpaceX alone is valued at hundreds of billions, and Tesla reshaped the entire auto industry. What makes Musk different is that he doesn't just build companies, he positions himself at the center of future industries: energy, space, AI, communication. That's why the gap between him and the rest of this list is so extreme. Now, I know a lot of people get frustrated when they see names like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or the others on this list. Some even think money is evil, or that being rich automatically makes someone a bad person. But here's the thing. All the people we just mentioned are building real projects, changing industries, and literally reshaping how the world works. Sure, there's a lot of conspiracy talk and debates around these names, but if you step back and look at what they actually do, there's a lot to learn. They show the value of hard work, assembling the right team, and creating opportunities like jobs and innovations that didn't exist before. Money today is earned differently than it used to be. And we've already talked about this in another video where we explained how subscriptions, marketplaces, and modern systems redistribute wealth in ways most people don't realize. So that's the list: the 10 richest people in the world and the systems they control. If you want to understand money, influence, and how wealth really compounds over time, start where all of them started, by learning. Check the book links in the description, pick one or two, and slowly build financial literacy that actually lasts. Subscribe to the channel if topics like this interest you, and send this video to a friend who wants to understand money beyond headlines.